It is playoff time in the NFL, and welcome on in. This is CBS Sports HQ Spotlight. Chris Hassel, Kyle Long, and Pete Prisco. We are going to pick every single super wild card game against the spread. Yeah, we got 6 games.
These look great.
In each conference.
Those are
nice graphics.
They're electric.
Electric, like Pete all season long. By the way, home teams in the Super Wild Card round 21-9. The 7th seed has only won once. Pete, cooled off a little bit. Kyle,
I got you
with a winning week.
I got you in a meaningless game.
We're only separated by 6 games going into the postseason, and we're picking 6 games this week.
So you think he can catch me this week?
Well, you got the best bet, too, so it's possible.
See, I missed my best bet. That's why he had the better week.
I missed my best bet as well. Let's jump into it with the first game of the weekend. Saturday, we will have 2 games. Sunday, 3 games. Monday, 1 game. Saturday, 4:30 Eastern. This is the largest spread of the weekend. It's the Rams, 10.5-point favorites in Carolina. But we remind you, the Panthers won this meeting in Charlotte just, a month ago. Forced Matthew Stafford into 3 turnovers. Bears-Packers will close things out that night. But we'll start with Rams and Panthers. It's a lot of points for a playoff game. In fact, it's the second time a 2-seed or a seed at home has ever been a double-digit dog.
Wow. When you look at the Panthers last week, you understand why it's a double-digit dog. Look, they beat them the last time, and kudos to them for doing that. They turned the ball over 3 times. Matt Stafford threw a pick 6 in that game. Remember, Michael Jackson picked them off on the sideline, returned it for a touchdown. They hit some big plays on 4th down against them, and the Rams didn't play very well. I don't think that's going to be the case this time around. I worry about that Carolina offense, and I know the whole Carolina region is upset at me because I took a shot at Bryce Young last week, and I don't think he's the long-term answer at quarterback. I don't think he's playing very well. But I think when you look at what he's limited with in terms of weapons, Ted McMillan and what else, they haven't run the ball in a couple weeks. That's a concern. If this was ever a game for him to start hitting shots down the field, the Rams haven't been very good on defense the last couple weeks, and they've been giving up a lot of big plays, and that's a problem. The secondary is an issue. So do I think that the Panthers are going to win the game? No. Do I think they're going to cover the game? No. Might they be better on offense a little bit? Yes. But I think this is going to be Matt Stafford. I'm coming back into that place, and I'm going to put up a big number.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in total agreement with Pete. I think that the Matt Stafford performance against the Panthers, it was an aberration. And we know how this Rams team performs week in, week out. You can set your watch to their performance. I definitely am not going to look to their previous matchup and say, well, that's what we're in store for here. I think the Rams win the game, but I do think that this 10.5-point spread is a lot. I think the Panthers keep it within 10.5, but the Rams will be moving on. And it comes down to the quarterback position. The unknown here is obviously that guy on the right-hand side of the screen. He has done a good job pulling himself up by his bootstraps. The city's rallied around him in Carolina and Charlotte.
Totally outplayed Stafford in that meeting.
But look, Matt Stafford outplays this guy every single week. That was 1 week. We can cherry pick stats all day. Matt Stafford, Sean McVay, and the Rams are going to handle business. I do have the Panthers keeping it within 10.5, though, Pete.
Yeah, and sometimes when you're in a regular season environment, you got a West Coast team going east, and you get caught up, and the next thing you know, you look up and you're in a game, and you can't get out from underneath it. This is a different situation. This is a playoff game. Win in advance.
Still West Coast going east, though.
But it's later in the day. You're right. It's true. That was a 1 o'clock. That was a 1 o'clock game. This is later in the day. Yeah. So I just think there's many factors that went into that game that made the Panthers win that game. I don't think those factors are going to be there in this one.
Give us your old quarterback scales for Stafford and Bryce.
Thump.
We're testing the structural integrity of this table.
We've done that before, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
Stafford is the odds-on favorite to win NFL MVP, just over Drake May.
Votes were made on Monday.
Right. So the postseason does not matter here.
No.
You had to get your votes in. Who do you think wins it? Who should win it?
I can't reveal my vote.
Wow.
Well, you don't have to reveal your vote.
I think Matt Stafford will win it. And one thing I do want to say about the whole MVP situation, there's this whole narrative out there where people might vote for Matt Stafford in large part because he's an older guy and Drake May will have more chances to win it. That should never, ever be a factor in the decision. And I can promise you it's not a factor in my decision, and it wasn't a factor in my decision.
I think Matt Stafford is obviously the guy that we've all had kind of up there at the MVP spot, but I got Drake May. I got Drake May turning around a franchise in New England, being a guy that
42 touchdown passes to 30. That's a big difference.
I know it is, but look at all the things that Drake May does.
No, look. You
Matt
can make a
Stafford
case.
can't
I
do.
can make a case for
Matt
both of them.
Stafford is like the most fun guy to watch play quarterback in terms of pure passing. It's just like cocky arm stuff all game. Drake May, you watch him play, and he's just out there balling out.
Stone cold killer.
He can do any single thing that they ask him to do in New England with his legs or with his arm. But I mean, look, this is why I don't have a vote, because I don't even look at the stats.
He's the aw shucks,
That's
and then he
it.
becomes a killer on the field.
I'm
I
interviewing
get
his
it.
brothers this week. I'm looking forward to finding out some more about Drake May.
I love both of them, and it was a tough decision. I can tell you that.
Look, you got the MVP favorite on one side.
No love for Caleb
double-digit
Williams,
favorite
but,
in Carolina against the Panthers. We have seen this story before, though, Pete, where a team at home is completely overlooked, and that team, come playoff time, at home, comes away with a win. I'm thinking, Beastquake off the top of my head. I think the Panthers won a game as a losing team back in 2014. That was, I believe, the last time
Is Cam Newton coming out of the
losing
tunnel?
teams won a playoff
Is
game.
Cam Newton coming out of the tunnel this week? Is Marshawn Lynch taking the field for this?
No, I don't see either one.
The
Rico Dowdle.
the Carolina Panthers had so much to prove to us at this desk and themselves in that locker room, and I feel like they are definitely on the right track. Obviously, they find themselves here in Wild Card Weekend, but for the Panthers, I think just being in this situation is a really good sign for things to come. But right now, you're going against Matt Stafford, Sean McVay, and the Rams. Sorry about it.
Those two teams, the Beastquake team and the Cam Newton team in 2014, the only two losing teams to win a playoff game, and kind of lines up with the 2010 Seahawks, who were minus 97 in point differential. The Panthers minus 69. Even that 2011 Broncos team won a wild card game. So we'll see. Kyle thinks that they will keep it within the number. Pete says it's going to be Matthew Stafford winning MVP and the Rams moving on. That's the first game up on Saturday, 4:30 Eastern Time, the first of 6 games in Super Wild Card Weekend. We, of course, have a game on CBS that we'll get to a little bit later. But up next, the Saturday night game, just the third ever postseason meeting between longtime rivals Chicago and Green Bay. We've only seen it twice before. We saw Bears-Packers in the playoffs 2010. Oh, God. Aaron Rodgers taking the Packers to the Super Bowl. The Bears haven't won a playoff game since. We also saw it, or at least maybe your grandparents did, or great-grandparents. 1941, the first game after Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, I covered that game.
Bears-Packers for the third time in the postseason. We're coming full circle.
Oh, yeah.
Here at CBS with Kyle Long, who started the season
as a Packers fan.
No.
As a Packers fan.
Doing the Lambeau Leap.
Look at him. Look how happy he is. That's a happy Packers fan.
Sometimes you got to just get up there and get excited. And you know what? The only reason that those guys and me look so happy, I was like, I gave them a $100 bill, and I said, just make sure I don't fall forward and just catch me. So we were all buddy-buddy in that situation.
You were up there eating cheese.
That's called a transactional
You were a
relationship.
Packers fan up there eating cheese curds, having a good time, doing the Lambeau Leap.
They have spotted cow and cheese curds. I like that.
You're a Packers fan.
I like that.
You're a Packers fan.
I was just immersing myself.
He's back on the Chicago.
So you got to do the Bears-Packers game.
All right, well, here we go. Packers-Bears, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time in Chicago. I'll have to look up the forecast in just a second. I'm sure it's going to be cold, but it would be cold in Green Bay
Either way,
as well.
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Only one other 2 seed has been an underdog in their first playoff game. And the Bears are an underdog here. The only other one, 2011 49ers were an underdog as a 2 seed in their first game. They won. What do the Bears do, Kyle?
Well, I think it's important to look at the way that the Packers finished the season, particularly at the quarterback position with their
4
help.
straight losses.
And I mean, even if you tell me Jordan Love's 100%, Malik Willis is 100%, whoever it is, and it's going to be Jordan Love, that still takes a mental toll on your locker room, losing 4 straight games and kind of limping into the playoffs the way that they have. And for the Chicago Bears, there's been a lot of good. They had the little letdown this past week against the Lions, but it was a really vanilla game plan from Ben Johnson. So people who are looking at that game and saying, well, that's the best you got, Ben Johnson? You got crushed by... Take a breath, take a breather. You and I both know that the good stuff isn't coming out of the vest until these playoffs start. And then you got to just go survive. Look, I think that Caleb Williams is ready for the big moment. I think that Soldier Field is going to be registering on the Richter scale probably, and we saw that against the Packers the last time and had to take a couple special hops for the Bears to be able to win that football game.
Yeah, they got lucky.
Or even be in it.
They got lucky.
And sometimes you need to get lucky in the National Football League. I think that Saturday night at Soldier Field, the Chicago Bears, there will be no luck involved. I think that the team who has a stronger belief in themselves will go out there and win the ball game. I obviously am a homer with the Bears. I am picking the Bears. I think that running game is awesome, and hopefully the defense can force a turnover. If the defense can force a turnover, I think it's a shoo-in for the Bears to win.
You looked at the weather forecast, did you?
Yeah, it's going to be a chance of rain, potentially sleet, snow in this game.
Let's not have game-ruining weather. I can't stand that.
So you want to dome it?
I want to dome it, and they're going to dome it. I want to dome it. I want all games inside.
The most old-school guy says the most new-school stuff.
Because he ruins games. It doesn't allow.
This is how this game is supposed to be.
He loves AI and he loves dome.
Look,
Prisco.
you're talking about that losing streak that the Packers are going in on. Okay, you really dissect it. It's not that bad of a losing
It's not the same team.
No, because they didn't have Jordan Love. They didn't try and win last week, and they got run on big time in the game Malik Willis played against the Ravens. And then there's the Denver game where they were winning that game until Christian Watson went down. So you got to look at it on that surface a little bit. I'm sure if I'm the coach of Matt LaFleur, that's what he's telling his team. Jordan Love being back, and he is back, that tells me they're ready to go again on offense. And I think Zach Tom's supposed to be back at right tackle. That's big
huge
for them. And you look at the Bears' defense, they are susceptible to a lot of problems on the other side of the ball. Teams have run on them. You can throw on them. You saw what the 49ers did to them a couple weeks ago. And I think Jordan Love is going to be on his game in this one. And I think he's going to put up a big number. And I do think that the Bears will score, too. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. This is going to be fun. That's why I don't want it ruined. I told you I'd give the Packers in the over in this one.
You think it's going to get loose?
It's going to get loose, provided that Mother Nature doesn't ruin the damn game. We're going to see a lot of points. I can't stand when it's sleeting and raining and you can't throw the football. If it's snowing, that's fine because you can throw the football in the snow. But if it's windy and rainy and nasty, ruins the game. So let's hope the weather holds off. It's not that bad because I think we'll see both offenses put up a number. Late night, we love that. Nighttime game, up and down the field, track meet. Packers win it in the end and cover the number.
I think the thing that stands out to me, I'll put a bow on this, about the Chicago Bears, and I'm in full agreement with you about Jordan Love. He is the boogeyman. His ability to be explosive within that offense and have kind of that hive mind with Matt LaFleur, they're on the same page. The thing that impressed me the most about the Bears this year, it doesn't matter how many chin shots they take from the opposition, they get back up. And it kind of reminds me of that Lions team last year. And we owed a lot of that toughness, and we accredit it to Dan Campbell. I think a lot of it was Ben Johnson and just the way that they get after people and the physicality he demands. So I think we're in for a good one. It definitely gets loose. I got the Bears. And you're on the other side. We wouldn't have any other way.
Romeo Dobbs, let's remember to practice your onside kick recovery skills.
There will be no onside
Maybe the helmet was too big.
There will be no onside kick.
Kyle, I know Pete believes the Bears are a year ahead of schedule, and some fans might feel like you're playing with a little bit of house money because of what they've done this season in an unexpected fashion and all the comeback wins. But is that a thing for players, this playing with house money, especially when it's against a rival like the Packers?
House money, it's just fun coupons. They give you some coupons to go have fun, so go have a blast. I mean, you get in the casino for free, as we're talking about here. Go play your butt off. And this house money thing, we may be looking at it as house money because
they're not,
because we weren't there since April 20th.
Right.
We weren't there in August, and we weren't there. And now they're there, and we're starting to catch up a little bit on the outside that this Bears team is for real. And obviously, they're going to get better and better as the years go.
The question becomes, do you know the song yet?
Which song?
Ben Johnson's song in the locker room. Their little
Good, better, best?
Yeah.
Never let it rest
Yeah.
until your good gets better and your better gets best.
Look at this guy.
I would play for that guy now.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was a guy that would have tattooed BU on your head because that was Nagy's MO, BU. And I still use it. I write it on everything when I'm in the studio and stuff. But I need to make room for good, better,
Nagy
best.
stole that from me. I've been using that for
I love
years.
BU.
BU.
Just BU.
BU.
You know what? BU for these teams in this game would be bad weather, windy conditions.
And
Terrible.
lose.
Don't ruin it.
Bears need to
points.
exercise those Packers demons. They've got to get this. That's why I don't even think most fans are looking at this as house money because Bears fans are sick and tired of losing to the Green Bay Packers. It's been going on a generation now. Bears-Packers to finish things up, the two games on Saturday night. It's 8 o'clock Eastern time. As we continue picking every game in Super Wildcard Weekend against the spread, maybe the best game of the weekend. Bills at Jags. Big Super Wildcard Sunday beginning on CBS.
Yes, there you go.
Bills and Jags. Oh, yeah. Then we've got in the mid-afternoon 49ers at the defending champion Eagles, and close out Sunday night with the Patriots hosting the Chargers. All these spreads less than 5 points. So let's go. We'll pick them. Chris Hassel, Kyle Long, Pete Prisco. Bills and Jags. It feels like this could be the Bills' pathway because Patrick Mahomes is out. There's no Burrow. There's no Lamar.
There's still a lot of other players.
Yeah, well, and the Jags are hot.
And you're on the road.
Yeah,
and you're on the road.
Well, that's a good point. The Bills haven't won a road playoff game, Pete, since you still had hair. 1992.
Wow. Yeah, and I did have hair back then.
That's how long it's been.
Were they running the K-Gun offense? Is that what
K-Gun.
They won the AFC Championship game at Miami.
Yep, K-Gun. Jim Kelly.
Dad used to
Ripping
hate
it.
playing against
Love the K-Gun. One of my favorites. I hate it when Win ruined that one.
And that's good. That's going to be the way it looks for the Jaguars defense when Josh Allen, all 6'6", 240 pounds of him, is running around, understanding with the things that you introed this segment with. Nobody understands that more than him, okay? No Patrick, no Lamar, none of these guys, just him. He's going to have an opportunity. You save your body all season long. They probably tell him, be smart, get down, get up. There will be no saving Josh Allen's body. He's going to be putting it on the line in this one, which is why I can't wait for this game to happen. The Jags have been playing lights out. Trevor Lawrence has reignited the candle on his career. Liam Cohen is awesome. And, you know, some of the stuff that seemed weird during the hiring process, Duval. It's kind of charming now, and he's kind of got that weird offensive, brilliant, intense energy that just so happens to get programs to be in the playoffs. And I'm thinking about Ben Johnson in Chicago. That's an intense guy. That's a guy I don't want to be locked in the room with for too much time. That's why I give the Jags a chance. But at the end of the day, it comes down to that guy, Josh Allen. And I know he's not going to win the MVP this year, but I've seen him do wild stuff in the past, and I fully anticipate him down there on a nice weather day in Jacksonville. The body feels good. It's not cold. Watch Josh Allen go ham. Give me the Bills.
I picked Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I picked them to win the Super Bowl. But I don't think they're going to win this game.
You're flip-flopping?
I am. And I just have seen so many things from that team that concern me this year. Look, if he goes ham and becomes Superman again, don't get me wrong, they can go on a run. But I think he's banged up a little bit. You know, I think that foot, we don't know where that foot is. I think defensively they have a lot of issues. And the way Jacksonville's playing on offense, they've averaged 19 points scoring margin in their victories over the 8-game winning streak. I mean, they've been on fire. The only guy that's played quarterback like Trevor Lawrence the last 8 weeks of the season is Matt Stafford. I mean, he's been that good. And
well, you can tell he's been great. He's on a full screen here with Blake Bortles.
Yeah, well, that was an aberration.
And himself.
Yeah, and himself. But he's been so good and so confident. It's just a different guy. Here's the other thing. We know what the Bills really want to do. They want to run the ball to set up all, Allen getting outside and creating. The number one run defense in the league is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
True.
And they haven't given up 75 yards rushing to a back all year, which is pretty incredible. So I just think that this is going to be different. Unless Allen goes truly wild.
He's going to be Superman.
They're going to go empty.
And he goes for, 330 and 350 and 5. I think Jacksonville's going to score a lot of points. And so I think this is going to get loose. And we don't think the weather's going to be an issue there. So I think it's going to be Jacksonville in a shootout. But in the end, I think the Jaguars find a way to win it and cover the number.
I love how he is, he did pick the Bills. And I love how honest you are going back on that. Because what we've seen from the Jaguars, quite frankly, I didn't expect. And it's been enough to flip your pick. I'm going to peel the curtain back a little bit on health as it pertains to these guys moving towards the end of the season. During the year, you don't want to waste all your good Tylenols on your body, okay? Because as we know, that stuff's not good. That stuff's just not good for you. But when you get to the playoffs, man, it's like
Tylenol becomes candy?
Tylenol. Get your Tylenol in you. So all these things, like if you're a fan of a team and your guy's got bumps and bruises, expect him to feel a little bit better this week. So as it pertains to Josh Allen's foot.
Other stuff with T that begins with T, too.
That was good, vitamin T. So, but as it pertains to Josh Allen, that's a prime example of a guy who, if he's at 60% versus 85%, that changes the complexion of the football game. And to your point, they do stuff the run. but not an empty if Josh Allen's running around with guys outside the numbers making plays.
Here's why Buffalo plays a lot of off coverage. They play, they keep everything in front. Liam Cohen is so good at scheming guys open against that, and that's going to be a problem for him. So I think Trevor Lawrence is going to continue to roll. I think Josh Allen will play well. I just think he has to go just above and beyond even
he's got to
that.
go ham.
He's got to go wild in this game and for them to win, and I think Jacksonville will win in advance.
Do you think pressure is more on Buffalo, right? Because even though they're not at home,
yes.
They've been there so many times, and Josh Allen just hasn't been able to break through.
And then you're going to start hearing, is this the end of the close of the window? Is McDermott? Should McDermott?
That's one of the segments later on CBS Sports HQ you're doing. Is this the end of the window if the Bills don't get it done?
And do I really think it is? No. As long as that guy's playing quarterback, the window is wide open. Because if you solve that quarterback position, you're going to be sustainable in terms of your success for a long, long time.
Well, those teams that they've lost to, the Chiefs, the Bengals, they're not there. Lamar Jackson's not there. But as Pete has pointed out, nobody's really playing as well as the Jacksonville Jaguars over this win streak. 8 consecutive wins overall. And a little bit later, we are going to get Super Bowl picks from the guys as well. We'll see how far Pete has the Jaguars going. He's got those Jags pom-poms back out.
Go,
Jags, go! Go, Jags, go!
I'd rather be right about everything.
Jaguar defender.
Now my Bills pick is rotten if they don't go.
Yeah, I would like to know.
Josh Allen just texted me. He said, I can't believe he said that.
My pick would be rotten.
Opposite ends of the bracket, would you have them both going to the AFC Championship game?
Probably.
Yeah. I'm disappointed that they're matched up in this first game, but it's going to be fun to watch on CBS. And Pete might be heading up I-95 to take that one in. We'll see. We won't hold you to it, but
maybe.
If you get your car fixed in time, we'll let you go. Coming up next, it's the 49ers and Eagles, and Brock Purdy trying to exorcise some Philadelphia demons. All right, it was a handful of years ago. We saw this matchup in the NFC Championship game. Brock Purdy against Jalen Hurts, and Brock Purdy suffered the injury, and the 49ers did not stand a chance in that game as the Eagles went to the Super Bowl. And again, the 49ers are banged up, but Purdy is healthy going into the game. Sunday, 4:30 Eastern Time, the Eagles at home as a 4.5-point favorite. Focus on some banged-up offensive linemen here. Lane Johnson expected to come back for the Eagles. On the other side, Trent Williams, big question mark.
Yeah, and look, Trent Williams is such a big part of what they do on offense. We saw that last week. I mean, he wasn't there, and they were a different offense against Seattle, which is a good defense. But Philly's a really good defense. I think when you look at it, though, the matchup that will decide this game, flip it to the other side. Because I think when you look at what the Eagles have been on offense, they've been awful at times this year. Think about it. The last time Jalen Hurts played a game, he didn't complete a pass in the second half. So he didn't play last week because for some reason Nick Sirianni didn't think they needed the game. Well, they might need the game next week if they win and the Bears win because they're going to be playing at Soldier Field. So the reality is they need to get the offense going. If there's ever a time, a unit that can get the offense going against, it's the 49ers defense. It's a perfect tonic. And I think the Eagles will find a way to get Barkley going. Lane Johnson being back is enormous. Mailata hasn't played as well, but it's playoff time. He'll be back to playing at a high level. I think they run the ball, they get Barkley going, and then Jalen Hurts will get going off of that. I'm taking the Eagles because I think their offense will score points against the 49ers defense, and I'm not so sure Brock Purdy and his offense will score against the Eagles that much.
Yeah, and I mean, I always go back to Vic Fangio being like the most important guy in the stadium, and I think that his defenses do a great job of taking his teachings and bringing it to the football field. They play a disciplined game. They keep it in front of them. And the other thing is, you talked about Lane Johnson and Trent Williams. Go ahead and look at the Philadelphia Eagles record since 2013 when Lane Johnson came in the National Football League. Games with Lane and games without Lane. And I think it's like 800 with Lane or like 750 with him and like 400 without him. That's unbelievable, okay? And people talk about the blind side of the quarterback, all that stuff, where you can't see the rushers. Lane is right there in the vision of Jalen Hurts. So when he is on the field and Lane Johnson is the mute button for him, and I expect, if he is back, I expect him to be riding the vitamin T train. And, it's playoffs, baby. And Lane's my boy. That guy's a cowboy.
And vitamin T is what again for the people?
Toradol is what
Toradol.
If you're dealing with something that is.
I didn't know if it was testosterone.
No, if you took a Toradol shot and came up here, you wouldn't feel yourself. Let's put it that way.
It's just a big Tylenol. That's all it is. But a guy like Lane is needed by his team, and if he's going to be out there, I expect him to be Lane. I don't expect him to be half stepping, as it were. The Eagles have been there before. They know what's at stake. And sometimes after these Super Bowl wins, teams kind of have that lull. Well, I feel like their nap is over, hibernation's over. Now you're in the playoffs. Patriots, they used to start the season at Thanksgiving. Maybe Sirianni's group just starts at round one. I've got the Eagles in this football game. I think they're the better team, and they should handle business.
Don't you think it was odd he didn't play his guys last week? I mean,
yes, because
you could
to
have
your
been
point,
they would have been the 2 seed. You win, you're the 2
guaranteed
seed.
2 home games if you get the 2 seed.
Right, he would have been the 2 seed. Now, as it is, if they win and the Bears win, they're out on the road.
Doesn't make much sense.
This team can roll wherever, though.
But you'd still rather be at home.
Absolutely.
And they've won 5 straight home playoff games, 0 giveaways in those games, 14 takeaways.
Philly is such a hard place to play in.
To your point on how much better the Eagles are with Lane Johnson, the 49ers are obviously the opposite without Trent Williams.
Yep.
They're 4-13 without him since they acquired him back in 2020. And he's iffy, and Ricky Pearsall, once again, is iffy. So
Ricky Pearsall's always iffy.
Yeah,
for some reason.
They didn't seem to have anything for Seattle in that game without those two.
No, they took away McCaffrey, and that's what the Eagles will do. They'll take him away, or try to. And if you take him away, where are you going with the football? Look, Kittle's a great player, but again, you don't have anything on the outside. They didn't get anything going on the outside, and that's the concern. Pearsall would give him a little juice, but more than that, with Trent Williams, you can stand in there and feel protected. You understand how the confidence level goes up when you have a guy
internal
that
clock
level.
isn't
right.
rushed.
And so with him not being in there, it's going to be sped up. And we know what Fangio does. He plays a lot of complicated stuff on the back end and doesn't give up a lot of big plays. I think this is a bad matchup for the 49ers. It's amazing. One game and how the whole trajectory of your season changes. If they win that game last week, they're at home. They're the 1 seed. They're sitting there. Trent Williams can rest, and Ricky Pearsall might be back, and you get a team coming to you in a couple weeks.
Next
now you're
next
out on
time
the road.
they leave the Bay, they go to Disney.
Right. And now they're out on the road playing in tough conditions, cold, nasty weather, and it's going to be tough for them. So I think this is a good
That
get
place
right
is
spot
a
for the-
nightmare to play.
Awful.
Regular season, I can't even imagine playing a playoff game.
No, it's and it used to be worse when it was in the vet, by the way.
And worse turf as well. I think it was Troy Aikman on the broadcast that kept saying the loser of that game is going to have a really tough time bouncing back quickly, and the loser was the 49ers, and they're banged up, and they're playing the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles. Both the guys on Philly to not only win but cover. Coming up, we'll pick the Sunday night football game. It is in New England. The Chargers, the Patriots, each having won their last playoff game back in 2018. Somebody will snap that skid this week. Sunday night this week from Foxborough. Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Drake May,
A couple Hollywood-looking
potential
quarterbacks.
MVP, yeah. But 2 quarterbacks that haven't won a playoff game.
Uh-oh.
Drake May, it's just his second season.
For
but
different reasons.
It's season 6 for Justin Herbert, and he's had some nightmares in the postseason so far. As we welcome you back in to pick this game with the Patriots 3.5-point home favorites, Chris Hassel, Kyle Long, Pete Prisco. His last playoff game, Justin Herbert, he threw 4 interceptions. The playoff game before that, I watched that game with you, Pete, when they blew that ridiculously large 3-touchdown lead to the Jaguars.
Yeah, and this is a big game for Justin Herbert. I mean, there's always that quarterback that doesn't win in the postseason, and it hangs over and it hangs over and it hangs over. We've seen it for years and years and years. I mean, it still hangs over the greatest thrower of the football of all time, Dan Marino. He never won a Super Bowl, and it hangs over his career. And so for Justin Herbert, you got to win a playoff game. But it's hard to win a playoff game when you don't get protected. And his offensive line right now is not very good. And they've been hit a bunch, and he's been attacked a bunch, and it's forced him to be using his legs a lot more. He's been hurt a couple times this year. This is going to be a real challenge for Justin Herbert and the Chargers. On the flip side, though, I think it's also going to be a challenge for Drake May as well as he's played this year, that Chargers defense is really good. Jesse Minter's done a great job. They play a lot of off coverage. They make you be patient. And if you go back and watch the second half of the Bills game, when the Bills came back and beat the Patriots, one of the things they did a lot of different stuff in coverage to kind of confuse Drake May a little bit, and it sped him up. And I think Jesse Minter will do that in this game. I think the Patriots will ultimately find a way to win the game, but I think this is really tight. And if you're going to give me the 3.5, I'm going to take the Chargers. One thing, too, about Harbaugh, he wants to run the ball. They started to get the run game going a little bit, before they rested everybody last week. I think they're going to get the run game going a little bit here, too. So I'm going to take the points. I don't know if they'll win the game, but I'm going to take the points.
You have to be able to run the football, particularly on the road in the playoffs.
Particularly with that line, right?
And, I mean, with the tackle situation, how it's been all year, Justin Herbert, as you alluded to, he's been peeled off the turf game in, game out, and he's been unbelievable. I just think he has performed like he always does, quite frankly. He's been unreal. And when you watch both these quarterbacks, we're spoiled to watch this matchup between Drake May and Justin Herbert offensively. Part of me, I root for Justin Herbert. He's an Oregon Duck. I went to Oregon, and I tend to root for guys who can't get over the hump. This is a huge crossroads for him in his career. And for Drake May, this is the beginning of what looks to be a yearly occurrence of him being in the playoffs. So we're going to get to find out what it is. I think the New England Patriots win. The only reason I do give them the edge here is because they are back in New England, and these people know how to do playoff football.
By the way, we talk about Herbert not winning those last two playoff games. One was at Jacksonville, and one was at Houston.
And one was just literally,
right?
They had to evacuate their homes a week before, right?
Remember the one was against the Texans on the road, and then the one was at Jacksonville. So you're out on the road. I mean, it's winning playoff games on the road is tough to do.
Those were in warm weather places or domes.
Right.
This is how about the Chargers and Justin Herbert in this kind of environment in the postseason?
That's a big man, big hands.
Yeah.
He played at Oregon. The ball was always wet. I mean, cold is okay. Wet is a problem for some guys.
Right.
He'll be just fine.
But the flip side of that is your culture is physical, nasty, tough, violent football. That's what Jim Harbaugh wants. That's what Greg Roman wants. And so they didn't do a great job of that, but they got to get more of that from Hampton and the gang running the football. And I think that's going to be their strategy. Try and neutralize any sort of pass rush because your offensive line isn't good enough by running the ball and attacking them that way. And that kind of takes that whole weather thing out of the equation.
Chargering is
next year. So this year, we do this conversation with the Chargers every single year. Last week I said it's criminal the way things have gone for Justin Herbert and his support staff they're all in the training room. When these guys all get healthy, we're going to be having a completely different conversation about the Chargers next year in the postseason.
When and if they're all healthy.
What was that graphic that they threw it up? It was chargering, you said?
Yeah, so chargering is usually when they're favored or they have a big lead and blow it. But in these
or winning a bunch of games, and then all of a sudden you lose a bunch.
But as an underdog, they've fared well early in the postseason over the years. There's no bearing on this year, but we'll see what happens. Is this the best defense, though, that you believe Drake May has seen this season? The only other one I can think of is the Browns. And they won big, 32-13, I believe.
Let's be real about it. The Patriots have feasted on a pretty favorable schedule.
Easiest in the league.
Huh?
Easiest in the league.
Well, not just that. They've also played a lot of teams when their starting quarterbacks weren't playing. And so it's hard to get a real gauge on how good they are. It was the only playoff team they beat, who? Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
That's the only one. And that was a long, long time ago. And that was kind of a shock when they did it. So, look, this is a prove-it game of sorts for the Patriots, too. They're still kind of an unknown. You don't know how good they are. A lot of these guys haven't, played. Drake May's not playing the playoff game. The backs haven't played in the playoff game. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come out and play in this situation. But pressure's more on Herbert and the Chargers than it is on Drake May.
So this is all about Justin Herbert for the Chargers because we know that they're not healthy, and we know that offensive side of the ball isn't what it should be right now. But for the Patriots, to your point, this is are we going to be a team? Because all year, you got a guy who's an MVP favorite. You got a Coach of the Year candidate. You got wins coming in droves for this team. This is where you find out who you are.
They did play one other playoff team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and lost 21-14. So played two playoff teams this season.
Let's not forget they lost to the Raiders.
That was a
Week
long
one.
time ago, but you're right.
You lost to the Raiders.
I watched the Raiders get a win this past week.
Well, sort
That's
of.
right. You called the game. You didn't pick it.
Very good at it.
That was a win.
He didn't pick it.
I did.
Yeah. What did that factor into
I'm not allowed.
One more game to go in Super Wildcard Weekend. It's the Monday nighter. It's C.J. Stroud and the Texans riding a long winning streak against Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers are just hanging on by the thread of their skinny skin. That's not the way it goes. Monday night, Texans, Steelers. C.J. Stroud at the beginning of his career looking for a third playoff win in as many seasons. Aaron Rodgers looking for his first playoff win since he was a member of the Packers back in 2021. The Steelers are at home, but the Texans are favored. Steelers, it's been a long time since we've seen this Mike Tomlin team win a playoff game, Pete. It's almost been a decade, 9 years. They've lost 6 straight playoff games.
Well, they kind of won one Sunday night. I mean, it was win and get in, so that's kind of like winning a playoff game. But I know what you're talking about, a real playoff game. Look, this team, to me, showed me something on Sunday night. It really did. And Aaron Rodgers has been through these wars before. I mean, if you're playing Aaron Rodgers, and I know the Texans are great on defense, but if you're playing that guy, you're worried a little bit about it because he can get hot, he can get streaky. And one of the things that's really gone unnoticed is this improvement of the Steelers' offensive line. The young guys have grown up. McCormick at right guard has been really good. They put a guy in at left tackle, Cook from Montana. He's been really good for the last month of the season. And all of a sudden, that line's playing better. Rodgers is getting more comfortable. He threw into the middle of the field, which he didn't do a lot of over the course of the season. He hit Freiermuth on the big play in the middle of the field.
DK's coming back.
DK will be back.
Metcalf.
They're facing a really good team. We know that. That defense is nasty. But if you protect, and that's the key, is protection. That line has been good the last month and a half of the season. I think they're going to be able to protect Rodgers. The flip side is the Texans offensive line, which has been significantly improved the last month and 6 weeks of the season. I think the Steelers' defensive front, what we saw from Cam Hayward the other day, whatever the hell happened to him.
By the way,
he's been great all year. He's been great all year.
He has looked like from another planet.
Fountain of youth. Whatever he got, I want. But the bottom line is TJ Watt's getting back another game removed from when he didn't play. I think they can attack CJ Stroud. I think they'll turn him over. I think this is a great spot for the Steelers and Mike Tomlin. I think he's going to win this playoff game. I'm taking the Steelers.
I'm on the other side of you, and I think.
Yeah, I'm over here, you're over there.
I think we're on the same side, buddy. I just think that the Texans have a Super Bowl caliber defense. I'm not saying they have a Super Bowl caliber team, but with some of the limitations offensively for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and even with DK Metcalf back, I think that some of those offensive linemen are going to be in some deep water. I know it's in Pittsburgh. I understand the crowd's going to be on the Steelers side, and Aaron will be able to operate in silence pre-snap, but there's no scheme that you can put out there good enough to get both those guys blocked every play on the edge for the Houston Texans. I don't care what kind of coverage you can see. I don't care when they go and that ball snapped. Those two are tough to tame. I've got the Houston Texans in this one. I think it's been unbelievable what Aaron Rodgers has done, but I do think that them being hot defensively, them having horses, is going to pay dividends on the road, and it's going to need to happen if they're going to win. So give me the Texans.
Texans offense doesn't worry you because they're kind of one-dimensional. They don't really run the ball.
They do, but the defense is so good.
It really is good. I mean, look, nobody can deny that. That's a great defense, and they can attack the quarterback, and they tackle really well. I just have a feeling they're going to block them this week. I don't just call it because I've watched a lot of the Steelers.
If they block the ends,
line.
then they got to worry about some one-on-ones inside. I know they got good guys in the middle for Pittsburgh, but at the end of the day, they're getting paid
little
too.
Screens, get the ball out. You know, Rodgers likes to get the ball out of his hands. I think this is a good opportunity for the Steelers to win that playoff game.
Pete, you remember the last time the Texans won a road playoff game?
The last time the Texans won a road playoff game.
When was that?
Never happened.
Yeah.
They're the only team to never win a road playoff game. Kyle thinks it's going to happen this weekend, but Pete,
I don't.
You like the Steelers to win the game outright as well?
Whoa. I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Aaron
That'll be
Rodgers,
amazing.
if they don't, is this it for Aaron Rodgers?
Don't ask him.
I don't
like
think
that
so.
question. He didn't like that question.
By the way, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think he's enjoying
He
himself.
loves football.
And he loves playing for that team. I think he's having fun. He hated the Jets situation. He's enjoying this.
I hope they don't wear those uniforms this
No, those are hideous. Get those things out of
What
here.
are uglier, those or the Acme Packers jerseys?
They're about tie.
Because
It's
I
like
think
wherever Rodgers goes, the
I think
jerseys are
those
terrible.
Steelers jerseys are way better than the Acme
The
Packers.
Acme Packers jerseys are terrible.
Those ones are cool.
Oh, come on.
I think
They're
they
terrible.
are.
They're awful.
I did enjoy that the Bears didn't wear their dumb orange uniforms. this
Yeah, don't like that.
year. Ugh, you look terrible.
I don't like the white ones that you see on the internet too. I'm like, get that
Get out of here. All right.
Classic.
Those are the picks for the 6 games this weekend. Super wild card weekend. And agreement on just, am I seeing this right? Just one?
One game. So you know what that means? That means we'll split.
We're gonna have a
Kyle-
terrible week.
No, we're gonna split, and you can't catch me.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story is you can't catch me.
Another year of Pete not taking an under in any game. He's just wants to get.
Because it's so much more fun to watch lose.
Yeah, you know what? Give me Packers Bears over.
You're jumping on with
Okay.
me. We're together. We're together. We're united.
All right, best bets. It was not a good week for best bets last week for many of us, maybe all of
Me.
us. Me too. But I'm on top.
You are on top.
Pete,
Way to go,
you
buddy.
didn't get over 500 this week. Producers somehow better than Kyle. What
There's
kind
like
of parlay could
there's
the
like
producers?
5 of them in there, and they use ChatGPT the whole time.
Speaking of loose,
I'm
Pete,
speaking from my heart.
Me too.
Get
I
loose with
make
your-
my own damn
with your
picks.
best bet.
Yeah.
I make my own damn picks. My best bet: Bills Jaguars. Lose. We're going to see a ton of points. 2 great quarterbacks. I think the secondaries can be exposed, and I think you're going to see a lot of points in that game. So I'm taking the over in that one. My best bet.
I'm going to go best bet, vitamin T special, Josh Allen over 36.5 rushing yards against the Jaguars.
So
What?
wait. So
You
you're
want another prop?
You're like a producer.
What is
now. You're
happening with
Producer
you?
props. What are you doing?
That's,
You're getting-
that's my best bet.
Where did you find? Somebody gave you that.
I was literally driving to work, and I was like, I think Josh Allen's going to get 40 yards rushing.
What about the dinged
I
up?
called-
What about the dinged up ankle? You're not worried about
It's a
that?
vitamin T special, baby. This is why we got so many medical professionals.
So he's got somebody giving him his picks. Lately.
I'm not.
I'm getting fish hooked with this. I think it's a very square bet. I think, as the people would say, Patriots minus 3.5 at home.
I don't like that one.
I've been thinking that the Patriots are going to falter all throughout the season, and it just hasn't happened. I know they've only played one winning team. Well, 2 now with the Steelers.
You like that one?
I do.
2 minutes ago, you liked the
playoff
Chargers.
No. I picked the Patriots.
I know, but when we were talking off air,
I like
Yeah.
I like the Chargers. I love Justin Herbert. I just think that when that lighthouse gets going up there in New England, and those people, those townies up there,
Yeah.
Patriot Place, they go crazy for football.
Producers, what is the play this week? Is it another crazy parlay?
I'm sure.
What in the heck? An interception in every game?
Oh my God!
Wait, except for Justin Herbert. So Young, Love, Allen, Purdy, Rodgers, all to throw an interception. But Justin Herbert, who threw 4 interceptions in his last playoff game, to throw 0.
that might be.
And that'll get you close to 5-1, Peter.
That's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous.
That's going to count.
50-1.
That's going to count as 4 wins.
You're making a mockery of this.
No, they're not getting 4 wins. You get 1, they're not going to get it. It's ridiculous to think they're getting that. They're not getting that.
Not getting what?
They're not winning that one.
You don't think so?
No, at 50-1.
FanDuel saw this and
not
they were like,
50 to
nah,
1,
we're
is
good.
It is 50-1.
No, isn't it 4-1?
50-1.
Okay, 50-1. Yeah, you're right. It's not going to happen. Here are our recaps. Yeah, I read that wrong. It is 50-1. So if the producers win that, we'll give them 50 wins.
No, we
for
won't.
the season.
No, we won't. That's just another loss for them.
That's a 3-pointer, actually.
And whoever gave Kyle his pick, we're going to count that.
That
for
was
you.
me.
There's no way you did that.
I did.
There's no way.
Pete's up 6,
Zero
but they
chance.
differ on 5
swear.
picks. Kyle might be coming back this week.